Hello everybody, and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program. And today we're going head-to-head, because I like the head-to-heads, Mott and Vaniacs, because I find them fascinating. Wines get to battle each other. Wow, these both have the same color, which is rare, very, very, very rare. And I like the competition. I'm a competitive guy, Mott, and I really am fascinated. These were two wines that really caught my attention because they're two Chardonnays I've never had before. Saw them in the inventory. Both scored out the yazoo. Wine number one, the Maldonado Family Vineyards, 92 points, Wine Spectator, $40 US. Let's see, nothing really here other than MaldonadoVineyards.com. Mott, let's link that up if you don't mind, because I have a feeling if this rocks, this is going to be a mailing list only wine, because it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of this made. Maybe there is, I don't know, it just has that feel. And the Camelot Heights, 2007 Santa Maria Valley Chardonnay, 14.5 alcohol, 93 points, Robert Parker, $24. This comes from the Kendall Jackson Estates. They've been making some serious, fierce, that's what happens when you pair up the words, Sears Roebuck, serious and fierce wines, and this one really comes through with a huge score. Maybe it is bringing the thunder. 93 points, Robert Parker for 24 bones. If this Chardonnay brings it like that, there's going to be some chaos. So head-to-head, two wines. Actually, now on second look, the Maldonado, I don't know, I'm struggling with that. Maldonado is a little hair darker than the Camelot Heights. So, because of that, we will go here first. 24 bones, 93 Parker. Let's sniff it up. California Wine Battle. Smoky and oaky, right off the bat. Getting a little bit of an apple pear component, but clearly a little hint of buttered kind of, not too bad, bless you. Oh, cough. Little bit of butter kind of coming through for sure. Definitely a little hint of oak, little wood chips coming through my nose. Sniffy sniff on the Maldonado. A little bit different. A little mustard component on the initial attack, which I like. Very intriguing and different. I like that. Almost sherry-like. This is a very different nose. I like this. Almost like sherry mustard meets, some green fruit. Very different nose. I like the Maldonado nose quite a bit. Oh, it says something here, actually. Let's read this. The vineyard is our own, planted and teamed by the three generations of a single family. The wine is the summit of our labor for the preserves of our founding of a home and a vineyard. In the deep, misty cool of the Jameson Canyon, our tilling of the gravelly soil, our tending of the winds-swept vines, our stalking the rose for ripeness. It's like a poem. Great nose. Great nose. I'm like seduced by this. Smell this. Almost like Scotch-like on the nose. Right?
Honey?
Ooh, Mott, good call. I couldn't really put... No? Okay. Honey. Absolutely. It's a real honey play. That's exactly what it is. All right, let's give it a whirl. Good job. Give it a whirl. Big Chardonnay. If you're a fan of that whole Ramey, Talbot, cake bread, flowers kind of style, you're going to like this. This is 57% new French oak for 8 months, medium toast. There's 3,727 cases produced of this wine. Give it one more shot. Very rich and clean. It does a better job than some of the people I mentioned because it's not over oaked. There's almost like a marzipan meets like a pancake flavor. There's almost like a pancake kind of flavoring to this wine, which I like, with a little squeeze of lemon. Good acidity, quite fresh, not overdone. And California is starting to get into that place where the oak is not taking over. That being said, The reason I get this pancake batter flavor is because with my pancakes, I put a little square of butter and then the maple syrup. So I get a little butter action, and clearly there is a buttered popcorn, buttered pancake more than popcorn flavor going on in this wine. Though, if you're like me, that's a very appealing and attractive flavor. There's a biscuit kind of flavor, again with the butter. You see, it's kind of like grainy and floury along with that butter, and that's what's coming across in the palate. Very clean though. Almost Burgundian, should I say. And I like it. I'm going to stay chill for a minute. I'm going to go over here now. God, this nose is interesting. You know what else is coming through? You're going to smell it now. It really opened up just even butterscotch and caramel. Do you smell it?
Maybe caramel slight.
The butterscotch is really starting to come through for me. Like butterscotch, honey, scotch. Let's give it a whirl. Totally different flavor. Very different wines. This wine's got much more acidity, quite sharp on its initial attack. On the finish here, you get this maple syrup kind of thing going on. I don't know, it's breakfast up in here, but maple syrup, butterscotch, you know, that caramel, that whole flavor profile, if you know where I'm going. Nutty. There's a good amount of nuts in my mouth on this wine for sure. You know, almonds and hazelnut coming through, almost like Nutella without the chocolate, if that makes any sense. Let's give it one more shot. Fascinating. It tastes older too. It tastes older. If this wasn't a blind tasting, and somebody said to me this was a 94, 95, 96 vintage high quality Chardonnay, I would believe it. It feels like it's gotten that copper edge, that metallic thing going on. It feels very aged to me. 2006, very aged. And you can almost tell by the coloring a little bit. Going back to the Camelot Highlands. Tasting the last wine there allowed me to see how oaky that wine is. This is a great battle. It's a fight of styles. These are two very different wines. And sometimes styles make fights, if you're a boxing fan. That's for you, Tony Atlas. I know you watch the show. Anyway, this wine battle is quite intense. The wines are very different, but they really reminds me of like the Pernell Whitaker versus Julio Cesar Chavez fight. If you're a fight fan, you'll know. Two great styles, different. Pernell Whitaker got robbed. I like them both, which makes me excited about California Chard in general. I really do. And I think they're fairly priced. I can see a lot of Burgundian heads loving this old world style. It's almost like, I mean, if somebody told me this was the best Romanian Chardonnay in the world, I'd believe it. If that makes any sense. There's some form of Eastern European stuffing going on in this wine. I don't know what it is. It's fascinating to me. Anyway, both wines are really well made. This is a fantastic head-to-head battle. Why don't you pause right now and guess who I'm going to go with? Okay, and so let's do this. The Camelot Highlands, I'm going to score 91 plus points. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really well made in the California Chardonnay style that so many of you guys appreciate. And if you or your wife are drinking the same old chalk ale, Farniente, Matanzas Creek, you know, that same old game, Beringer Private Reserve, Sabragia, that same old game, this is a must-try. Enough cases out there, and with Kendall Jackson's distribution, that I think a lot of you can find it. I'm going to score the Maldonado 91 plus. Ding, ding, ding. It's a draw. Just like that bullcrap Chavez Pernell Whitaker fight was a draw. I'm going to piss you guys off and go a draw on this. Very different style, much more old world in its approach. Different smells going on, the mustard, the nuts, you know, just really fascinating stuff. I'm intrigued by these two wines. Nothing would make me happier than if you had the bones to splurge for 64 of them to try this exact combo and get back to me with your comments. This is fascinating. Just absolutely fascinating. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. There's even a hint of like petrol-y kind of Alsatian thing going on here. Very fascinating stuff. I kind of want to give it to this with the Eastern European, you know, but I'm going to stay chill. Good show. Good battle, Mott. Good battle. These wines both brought thunder, and they fought hard. And I'm sad that nobody won. But let's do this, Mott. Let's flash the phone number on Malandando. And Vaniacs, why don't we call them and tell them, you know, that we're very intrigued by their Chardonnay. So, call 707-287-4621. Don't be rude. Don't crank call. We don't want to bother them. But we want to show them some Vayner Nation love. Let's show them some force and tell them we're intrigued by their shards and can we find them locally. Very interesting stuff. What's the last thing that you saw that was a tie, or what do you think is a tie out there? You, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world, whether they like it or not. Discuss it.